the M26. It's known as the Pershing, named rather obviously after Black Jack Pershing, who commanded the American Expeditionary Force in France in the First World War. So it was one of the first tanks the Americans chose a name for themselves, rather than taking an English one like the Sherman and adapting it to their own purposes. But that's the basic tank. Now, in fact, an M26 is an M46, which you've already seen, but with the original engine in. This is the tank as built, as distinct from the M46, which is the tank upgraded with a new engine for operating in Korea and that sort of thing. So this is the first tank of this type that was built. It was classed as a heavy tank, which is really a bit of an anomaly. It weighs about 42 tons, and really that's not heavy by any standards, but it was a big tank by American standards. It also suffered, in a way, from the American attitude that the men at the front, the men in the tanks, the men actually doing the fighting, were asking for a more powerful gun and thicker armour, but by the time their message had got across the Atlantic to the generals in charge, I'm thinking particularly of General Leslie McNair, who was in charge of American military procurement for the army, and Gladian Barnes, who was in charge of tank development, it had really rather watered down. And both of those generals, harking back...
Hey there guys, Ben with Boulder and the Pebbles here. Geez, already off to a great start. With a new kit review. It's Tamiya's Super Pershing... Yeah, the Super Pershing, or the T26E4, which is... Here's the box for you. Here's the side there for you. I mean, it's a traditional box. I mean, basically the same on either side, and here's what it looks like. So I'll get into the actual kit parts, and they do look good. I mean, as I've always said, like, Tamiya parts always look great, and they're well molded. Just everything's great about Tamiya. It always has been and always will be. Well, let me put it to a part. Yeah, you get to see the dirty garage where I get to work in. So yeah, there we go. Here's tool racks, helmets, and shit. Here's the sprues of the figures. I'm just kind of breezing through all the smaller ones. You have two of the same sprue, which is like wheels and everything. Nothing too inherently difficult. And yeah, so that's just kind of that. Suspension arms. Here's the one with the main thick boy gun mantlet, because she's a thick boy. He's a thick boy. I don't know, doesn't matter. But like, yeah, here's all the parts. They look really well done and everything. Here's the Browning machine gun that came in the actual hull, which I'll actually bring out and show. And this tank does allow you to have working suspension, but we'll see after building it if that's how I want to keep it. Again, more parts here. I'll just flip it over. So yeah, so you kind of get the gist there. And then last but not least of major sprues is all the turret stuff and the upper hull. So this will be a real fun one to slap some armor texture on and everything, and it's going to look real nice. And again, here's the thick boy turret. And I'll probably, like my Challenger one, put in some clips of the T26. And then you get a bag full of, like, screws and stuff and springs. So yeah, you get the gist of that. So while I shove everything back so that we can look at the instructions, I'll just show you the T26 there. Okay, so you get one piece of paper. Sorry, from the way. Here's a cool image there if you want to see kind of what the parts of a Super Pershing are. Yeah, and here's the same thing, only in Japanese. I can't read Japanese. That's okay. So here is the sprue. Just quickly do that. Show that. So yeah, so you guys can kind of take a look at the instructions. Continuing, because I'm an idiot who stopped the previous recording instead of pausing it. We're going there. Yeah, I'll just quickly go over again. Barrel, more turret stuff. attaching everything, and then you have some extra stuff, and then you have everything. And yeah, that is Tamiya's Super Pershing. I'm not going to call it the T26E4, that's just too much. But yeah, no, this is it. And hopefully you like the kit review here, and I'll see you once it's all done, and I'll tell you how I felt about the kit. Right, talk to you later. Welcome back, guys. This is the finished Tamiya Super Pershing. And it was honestly a beautiful kit to put together, and it looks really great. I mean, a lot of it does come down to the painting and weathering I all did, but for the most part, I mean, it really does look good. Like, if you take a look at the weapons and the helmets and sword stuff I slapped on, you got the Army Ranger dude who's firing some shots and everything, and he looks really good. You got all the nice silver weathering. You even got the tarp on the back, which I made with some Kleenex dipped with glue and stuff. Everything in it looks really good. Like, overall, it's just a really good looking kit. And I'd recommend that you get this kit if you really want a nice kit to build and you just want something that's a great display piece. This kit, honestly, fits the bill entirely. But that is all for this video, and I shall see you in the next one. It's time for me to rock and roll and out.